So I think pretty much everyone who owns a phone, right?
Absolutely.
Especially one you've had for, I don't know, more than a year. You've been taking photos, downloading
Yeah.
things.
Oh, yeah.
You know that sinking feeling, that absolute
Mm.
dread when that little notification pops up.
Storage full.
Exactly. Storage full.
Yeah.
It always feels like it happens at the worst possible time, too. Like your device is just failing you.
It really is the universal bottleneck moment of modern life. We
Yeah.
consume all this media, but the actual space on our devices, it's finite.
Right.
And the problem isn't just knowing you're full, it's the forensic investigation you have to do to figure out what is eating up all that space.
Yeah. You turn into a detective. And that brings us right to our deep dive today. We are looking at one specific tool designed to, well, relieve that exact stress. It's the Storage Space and Analyzer app from a developer called Catchy Tools.
And this is a really interesting case study because it shows the trade-offs you make with these third-party mobile apps. So our mission here isn't just to read off a feature list.
No, definitely not.
We're taking the source material, the app's description, its functions, and crucially what real users are saying. And we're going to pull out the real-world knowledge. We want you to understand where it delivers and, where the pitfalls might be.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We need to figure out if this tool really gives you that quick relief it promises. We'll break down what it does, how it works, and then get into that user reality check to see what the actual cost is for a, quote, free solution.
It's all about gaining clarity so you can manage your device instead of, your device managing you.
Exactly. So where do we start? Its basic purpose.
Let's start there. So its fundamental design is as an Android utility. It's built to talk directly to the operating system's file structure, so it can help you manage and clear out both your internal storage and any external storage you have.
Like an SD card.
Like an SD card, yeah. And that dual capability is actually pretty important right from the start for Android users because that separation can be confusing.
The core purpose, as Catchy Tools defines it, is really simple. Help users free up disk space and clean file trash.
Okay.
But the key thing they focus on is speed. They do that by prioritizing finding and managing the really large files first. It's all about immediate relief for users who are, frankly, desperate for space right now.
And the first step to getting that space is just getting information, right? That's where the initial storage overview comes in.
That's right. Before you delete a single thing, it gives you this crucial high-level analysis.
What makes that so useful?
It's the categorization. So instead of just a big scary bar that says 95% full.
Right, the red bar of doom.
Exactly. It segments your memory into these really distinct high-level categories. So you'll see system apps, installed apps, videos, images, audio, and documents.
And that's powerful
Yeah.
because it shifts your focus right away. That notification pops up and you just panic.
But if the analyzer shows you that, say, 60% of your space is just videos, well, that's not a panic moment anymore. That's an actionable insight. It is. Doubles a mystery into a checklist. This simple view just gives you a dashboard that answers that core question. Is my storage problem my own media? Or is it, app bloat and system junk?
Yeah.
And the solutions for those are totally different.
Completely. This overview points you toward the right door.
Okay, so moving beyond just seeing the problem, the app offers these comprehensive file management features. This is where it has to prove it's a real utility, not just a dashboard.
This is where the depth of the tool starts to show. It goes way beyond simple deletion, which is what most people probably assume these tools do.
So what can it do that my phone's built-in file manager might not?
Well, it has all the standard stuff, basic copy-paste. But the key is that it lets you move, open, share, and rename files right inside the app. And often it's faster than digging through the native file system. But its main focus is still identifying and deleting those large or unused files, that ability to just instantly surface the biggest space hogs. That's its real selling point in this category.
And here's where it gets, for me, really interesting. This is where we have to dig into the choices they made. The memory optimization feature.
Absolutely. This is the app's cleaning philosophy right here.
So what is it?
The material describes it as an, quote, intuitive optimizer, specifically designed to help users easily find large media files.
Okay, so the keywords there are large and media.
Exactly. It's a deliberate strategic choice. The app is basically trained to hunt for the giants, your 4K videos, your big photo bursts, any movies you downloaded.
So we have to ask, if we're only focusing on size, what are we missing? What is the user overlooking? Does this intense focus on size mean you're ignoring the death by 1,000 cuts,
Right.
all the tiny cached files and residual data?
That is the essential trade-off right there.
Yeah.
You delete one 5 GB video, you feel instant relief. It's rewarding.
Yeah, very satisfying.
But if your phone is sluggish because of thousands of tiny fragmented files, this utility, by design, might lead you to believe you've solved the problem when you've only treated the symptom. It's optimizing for immediate space recovery, not necessarily long-term file system health. So the pitch sounds great. Clear overview, good tools, an optimizer that hits the biggest targets first. And it's free. But we know there's almost always a cost, even if it's not monetary.
Precisely. And this is where we have to pivot to that user reality check. What is the Google Play Store feedback telling us about the real-world experience? If the promise is speed and intuition, what are the friction points people are actually running into?
The feedback is remarkably consistent on two major fronts. The first, and maybe the most frustrating one, is what we're calling the ad problem.
Yeah.
Users report frequent interruptive ads, and not just banner ads. We're talking full screen and video ads.
This is the classic downside of ad-supported software, but let's analyze the implication. If the app's whole value proposition is speed and immediate relief,
Isn't a mandatory 30-second full-screen video ad the absolute antithesis of that promise?
it completely works against the stated goal.
Yeah.
You download the app because you need space now, you open it, and suddenly you're forced to watch a trailer for a game you couldn't care less about.
It erodes that intuitive and quick experience instantly.
Yeah, the value exchange feels broken at that
Well,
point.
if the app saves you 10 minutes of hunting for files, but forces you to watch 5 minutes of unskippable ads, the efficiency gain is, well, it's questionable.
For sure. Okay.
Hey.
So that's the first hurdle. What's the second?
The second one is about how the information is actually presented once you start digging. This is the functionality limitations issue, specifically with visualization.
So the high-level overview is good, but the details are lacking.
Exactly. User reviews point to some major gaps. The most significant one mentioned is that the app may not display folder sizes,
And why does that matter so much?
because it prevents any real forensic analysis.
Yeah.
If the app says 40% of your memory is installed apps, that's useful. But without folder sizes, you can't tell if that's the core install files or if one specific app, like a messaging app that archives everything, has accumulated a massive data folder. You can't pinpoint the source of the bloat.
So you're just guessing at the culprit.
You're guessing. And that's made worse by two other things people noted.
What are they?
First, it lacks a proper graphical pie chart. In storage analysis, a pie chart is the standard visual language. You get it instantly. Without that, you're just looking at lists of numbers, which is harder to process.
And the second.
The second is that users report difficulty clearly distinguishing between internal storage and an external SD card.
Which is a huge problem for a tool that promises to manage both.
It really is. If you're trying to migrate files off your full internal memory and the app's visualization is sort of blending the two sources, its usefulness for that specific task drops dramatically.
So if we step back then,
Yeah.
given the strengths, finding big files fast, and the weaknesses, no details, intrusive ads, who is this tool actually for?
It seems tailor-made for the user who just needs a quick fix. Someone in that immediate storage panic who just needs to delete 5 huge videos to get their phone working again.
The instant gratification crowd.
Exactly. They're less concerned with deep organization or seeing a perfect color-coded diagram, and more concerned with seeing that available space bar move.
And it's important to note that other tools do exist that solve this differently. The source material even mentions that.
It does. It gives the example of an app called Storage Analyzer and Disk Usage, which is specifically cited as providing that graphical representation. So if that visual clarity, that map of your memory is what's important to you, the market has alternatives.
Right, you can choose your priority.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we should probably touch on the fact that managing what's on your phone is only one piece of the data puzzle.
Right. This is a crucial point. We have to remember the data that lives outside the physical device. The source material has a brief but important note on this.
What does it say?
It gives the example of YouTube. Your viewing history is stored in YouTube history, and all that data is managed according to YouTube's terms of service, not by any app on your phone.
So while the Catchy Tools app is managing your downloaded files, it can't touch the huge data footprints left by streaming services, cloud backups, all of that.
It just reinforces that clearing your phone is often only half the battle. Managing local storage is for device performance. Tackling your cloud footprint is the other half of holistic data management.
Okay. So what does this all mean when we put it all together? What's the final analysis? The Storage Space and Analyzer app offers really powerful file management, and it's fantastic at its core strength, finding the big media files quickly. You can't dispute that. But there's a transaction involved.
There's a transaction. You have to weigh that immediate, satisfying relief against some pretty significant trade-offs. You're getting instant deletion capability,
In exchange for enduring a lot of interruptive ads.
a lot of ads, and settling for a less detailed, less visual understanding of your device's memory, because you don't get folder sizes or standard tools like a pie chart.
It really is speed over structural clarity. If your goal is a quick, one-time fix, this might be exactly what you need. But if your goal is long-term understanding of why your phone gets full, those limitations could be a real hurdle.
And that leads us to a final provocative thought, which is built right on that algorithmic choice we talked about. We've established this tool's primary goal is finding large media files.
Right.
So should the next generation of these tools just get better at that? Or should they also prioritize both size and file count equally? Should they help users understand and delete not just the huge videos, but also that cumulative death by 1,000 cuts, all the tiny cache files and fragments, to give you a truly comprehensive picture of your device's health? Something for you to mull over.